Mercedes are working on another level to ensure they are in a competitive state to be championship contenders in the upcoming campaign. Although the understanding between experts was that 3 months is not enough to close the gap to Red Bull, the progress Mercedes are seeing with the W15's development seems to suggest otherwise, evident with the latest revelations made by Lewis Hamilton and Toto Wolff. So what are Mercedes actually cooking at Brackley? And does the W15 have what it takes to become a championship contender? Let's find out. The W13 and the W14 have been two big lessons for Mercedes, as the knowledge gained by both these cars seems to be applied in the proper direction, under the technical leadership of James Allison, of course. With two back-to-back disappointing campaigns, Mercedes are pushed to the wall by both of its drivers to deliver a competitive machinery for 2024, and it seems though work on the W15 has been going quite well. Lewis Hamilton, more than for his usual style, has been present at the Brackley factory, and his latest statements have given some hope to all Mercedes fans for the 2024 season. It's not just the driver from Stevenage who is full of belief regarding a competitive season moving forwards. Toto Wolff also shared the same optimistic belief. Elaborating on this matter further, the Mercedes team boss first talked about Hamilton's chances of clinching his 8th record-breaking championship. Following on, he talked about the W15's development, adding, "If we're able to give him a car, then he would be fighting for a world championship, I have no doubt. It's clear that when you have a Formula One car like we have now, you're never at ease with it. You have good weekends and bad weekends. In the end, every time where we've seen that Lewis has someone in his target in front of him, and it was about winning the race, then the real Lewis comes alive, and I think we just need to give him that opportunity. We have a gap to the leaders, but the two teams at Brixworth and Brackley are so motivated. We have so many good things in the pipeline, so many new things, and with all the learning we had, we are really in a good place to see what's coming together. We have got to take the momentum now from the P2 in the championship and take the momentum to the factories." Hamilton's presence at Brackley has been most noted of recent, as this is the first time that the Brit has followed a project this close in years. Hamilton has a plan to leave no stone unturned, direct the Mercedes engineers in the path he feels will unlock performance, stimulate ideas into the group so an all-round car is developed. This was something the former champion tried to do during the 2022 season, but had no ripple effect on the W14's development. So he is taking matters into his own hands, apparent with his frequent Brackley factory visits. From being a demoralized Hamilton back at Abu Dhabi in December 2023, the present Hamilton has the confidence to say that Red Bull has a challenge on their hands, pointing out his team's work on the W15 as a primary competitor to the Austrian team's title defense hopes. This definitely is music to all Formula One fans, not just Mercedes fans, as all we want to see is a competitive sport, not a dominated one. Speaking further on this matter, Hamilton went on to say, "I'm in the factory much more often now, having meetings with all the department heads to try and motivate and encourage them all," he explained. "I talk to them, show them where we need to improve and what direction we need to go in. I just try to help them be positive and to say we can do it. I also looked closely at other vehicles and asked a lot of questions just to stimulate ideas." While Hamilton's role in the team would be a huge motivating factor, we must never forget that George Russell also has a say on how the W15 should be developed. Adding on to Hamilton's positive comments, Russell also believes that the W15 is going to be a different animal compared to its ground effect predecessors. Coming from a season where he predicted Red Bull to win every race on the calendar, which almost bared fruition, we must never turn a blind eye to the younger Brits' impressions. When talking about the W15's current development progress, George Russell went on to say, "I think last year it was all a little bit rushed," he told Autosport. "We didn't have all the information to hand. We may have jumped to a couple of conclusions without thoroughly going through the consequences, and we learned when the car hit the ground this year that we made a step forward in some regards, but it came with a lot of baggage and we hadn't taken that into consideration. So I think we've done a great job to truly understand what we need. We've obviously had a further 12 months experience to further understand the car and what brings the performance. I think last year we put all our eggs in one basket, and that wasn't a basket that provided the performance we were expecting. But I'm definitely confident we won't fall into some of the same traps we did this year. These are some interesting predictions from coming out from Wolff, Russell, and Hamilton. Considering McLaren were able to gain a performance leap of about a second by just in-season upgrades, anything seems to be possible over a winter breaks development. And many know that if any team is out there to make that sort of gains through a clean slate, that is Mercedes. They have plenty of data for analysis, not just theirs, but also their customer teams as well. And since 2020, it's going to be James Allison once more who is going to steer the development ship of Mercedes from the front line. The W15 will have everything brand new, the monocoque, front and rear suspensions, gearbox design, and more. This clean slate approach has provided Mercedes with the perfect opportunity to blend the W15 in to a beast they think has all the wits to challenge Red Bull in 2024. But will this mega effort by Mercedes be enough to challenge Red Bull and Max Verstappen in 2024? Christian Horner was recently questioned about this, to first which he said that soon enough, his team will start to see diminishing returns as they reach the development ceiling of their concept. Talking about this matter even further, the Brit went on to say, "We're probably closer to the top of the development curve already," he added. "We're fully expecting Ferrari or Mercedes or even Aston Martin to be contenders." Nonetheless, Red Bull are in prime position for title defense. The gap that Mercedes has to close on for 2024 to catch Red Bull is enormous, which was acknowledged by both Wolff and Hamilton. But the only thing they can do for 2024 is to work hard on a proper direction, with positive thought and good motivation. Hamilton recently talked about what keeps him highly motivated and what gives him the desire to keep pushing himself and his team to crazy limits. I remember the first team I had with this team. I have a particular picture of 2015 in Australia with the team down there in tears. It was amazing to be a part of that. It's the dream of standing on the top step and seeing your team. One of the most amazing things is being able to look back, have the flag of the nation rise behind you, and see the team. The power of that is a huge part of the drive. Winning the World Championships is a huge part of the drive. Continuing to build with the team on the impact work we're doing and continuing to push with the team with Mission 44. So with James Allison saying that he is working a lot on improving the morale and energy of his engineers back at the factory, and with Hamilton doing whatever it takes from his side to bring massive improvements for 2024 with his frequent presence at both Brackley and Brixworth, do you think Mercedes are on the legitimate path to take the fight to Red Bull in the upcoming campaign? What are your expectations regarding the W15? Very much into your thoughts and perspectives in the comments section down below. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads, to keep yourselves up to date about the 2024 Formula One season.